Good evening. In this lecture, we are going to study about the theories of failure. Okay, theories of failure. There are totally 5 theories of failure: maximum principal stress theory, maximum shear stress theory, maximum principal strain theory, maximum maximum strain energy theory, maximum distortion energy theory. Before going to study the theories of failure, let us discuss about the principal stresses and principal planes. So far, we have studied the workpiece subjected to only one type of stresses. That is, it is subjected to only one shear stress, etc. Whether it may be as sigma T or sigma C, whether it may be a tensile stress or whether it may be a compressive stress. Here we are going to study the combined stresses. In the combined stresses, in addition to the tensile stress, one shear stress acts in this area, and that is here it is instead of sigma 1, please take it as sigma x along the x direction, and sigma 2, instead of sigma 2, read it as sigma y along the y direction, and tau shear stress. This is a direct shear stress, it is not the torsional shear stress. So don't confuse it with the direct shear stress and torsional shear stress. It is a direct shear stress. Here the formula to calculate sigma x is sigma tensile stress sigma x is P by A, and also the formula to calculate tau equal to direct shear stress tau equal to shear load by area P by A, the same formula, but the load is different. Here sigma W, here we are using the symbol tau. So it is subjected to sigma x, sigma y and tau. So in this diagram you can see the plane EF. Along some planes, this plane is called as principal plane. Along this plane there are no shear stress. Along the principal plane there are no shear stress will act. There are two such planes in which there are no shear stress will act. In all other planes shear stress will act, but in the two planes the shear stress will not act. Okay, along the two principal directions. Okay, that is called sigma 1 maximum principal stress, and maximum sigma 2 is called as minimum principal stress. Okay, so this is a direct shear stress in mutually perpendicular planes accompanied by a simple shear stress. Simple shear stress is tau, and this is sigma x, this is sigma y, and the principal stresses are taken as sigma 1 and sigma 2. The formula can be read as sigma 1 equal to, so instead of sigma 1 take it as sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus 1 by 2 square root of sigma x minus sigma y the whole square plus 4 tau square. So minimum principal stress sigma 2 equal to sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 plus minus 1 by 2 sigma x minus sigma y square plus 4 tau square. Then maximum shear stress equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. It is a difference between maximum principal stress minus minimum principal stress divided by 2. So this can be subtracted, these two terms get cancelled, and this will be equal to 1 by 2 into sigma 1 minus sigma 2 square plus 4 tau square. Okay, this is a maximum principal stress. Then there are 5 theories of failure. Maximum principal stress theory, this theory is called as Rankine theory. According to this theory, sigma 1 maximum principal stress sigma 1 or sigma 2 or sigma 3. Sigma 3 if there are 3 in the 3-dimensional plane, if there are 3 stresses are acting, that is a sigma z, then there will come sigma 3. Sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, whichever is maximum is equal to or less than or equal to sigma y by n. Sigma y is the yield strength divided by n is the factor of safety. This sigma y by n is the working stress. Sigma 1 is failure theories. So in order to avoid failure, maximum principal stress should be less than the working stress. That is the maximum principal stress theory. Then according to the maximum shear stress theory, maximum shear stress is, we know that sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. So sigma 1 by sigma 2 by 2, sigma y by 2 n. So sigma 1 minus sigma 2 less than or equal to sigma y. In order to avoid failure, maximum shear stress, that is sigma 1 minus sigma 2, should be less than or equal to sigma y by n, that is working stress, should be less than or equal to the working stress. According to the maximum principal strain theory, sigma 1 minus gamma, this gamma is nothing but the Poisson's ratio, okay, that is called principal strain. Sigma gamma into sigma 2 should be less than or equal to sigma y by n. Then maximum strain energy theory, sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square plus sigma 3 square plus minus 2 gamma into sigma 1 sigma 2 plus sigma 2 sigma 3 plus sigma 3 sigma 1 should be less than or equal to sigma y by n square. So maximum strain energy theory the states that this value should be less than or equal to sigma y by n the whole square. Then only the failure can be avoided. According to maximum distortion energy theory, sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square plus sigma 3 square minus sigma 1 sigma 2 minus sigma 2 sigma 3 minus sigma 3 sigma 1 should be less than or equal to sigma y by n square. So the failure can be avoided. This value should be less than or equal to working stress power the whole square. So the first theory is called as Rankine theory. Okay, Rankine theory, and this theory is applicable for brittle materials. Okay, maximum shear stress theory, this theory is called as Tresca theory, and this theory is applicable for ductile materials. Maximum principal strain theory, this theory is a ductile material. Strain energy theory is also ductile material. And maximum distortion energy theory, this theory is called as Henke von Mises theory. This theory is also applicable for ductile materials. Now we will solve a problem. A bolt is subjected to a tensile load of 20 kN and a shear load of 15 kN. Suggest a suitable size of the bolt according to various theories of failure. Take yield strength 300 Newton per mm square, factor of safety 2.5, Poisson's ratio equal to 0.25. Okay, so tensile load is 20 kN. So sigma x equal to 20 kN by area. Okay, as it is a bolt, it is a cylindrical object. So 20 kN divided by pi before d square. Okay, and shear load equal to shear tau equal to 15 kN divided by pi before d square is tau. Tau equal to 15 into 10 power 3 divided by pi before d square. And tensile load equal to sigma x equal to 20 into 10 power 3 divided by pi before d square. There is no sigma, only one direction is given, another direction is not given. Okay, sigma y is not given, tau is given. Okay, so we will take the sigma y as 0. And yield strength is 300, factor of safety is 2.5, 300, 2.5, Poisson's ratio 0.25. Now we will solve the problem. The formula for sigma 1 and sigma 2 is given here. Now first the principal, first step we have to calculate the principal stresses. Sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus square root of 1 by 2 sigma x minus sigma y square plus 4 into tau xy square. Okay, sigma x is equal to 20 divided by pi before d square. Okay, that is 80,000 divided by pi before d square. Then in this shear stress equal to 15,000 divided by pi before d square, which is equal to 60,000 divided by pi d square. Okay, substituting this here, sigma y becomes 0. So sigma t only is present. So sigma x only is present. Sigma x is that is a direct tensile stress. Okay, 80,000. Here it is 60,000. Substituting these values, we get sigma 1 value as this one and sigma 2 value as this one. So maximum principal stress theory, we will solve the problem by maximum. First we will solve the problem by maximum principal stress theory, and then sigma 1 is, this value is equal to, okay, this value is equal to 35. So you have sigma 1 or sigma 2 or sigma 3, whichever is maximum. Sigma 1 is 35,685 divided by dc square is the maximum value, is equal to less than or equal to sigma y by n. Sigma y is 300 divided by 2.5 is equal to 120. So this is equal to DC is 17.24 mm. Then and second theory, maximum shear stress theory, sigma 1 minus sigma 2 should be less than or equal to sigma y by n. So sigma 1 value is given and sigma 2 value is subtracted, so it becomes plus, should be less than or equal to 300 divided by 2.5 is 120. So we have calculated DC values. And the maximum principal strain theory, sigma 1 minus gamma into sigma 2. Gamma value is 0.25, sigma 1, sigma 2 values are same, and you can get the value DC is equal to 17.85. Here we get the maximum value is 19.55. Then maximum strain energy theory, sigma fourth theory, sigma 1 square minus plus sigma 2 square minus 2 gamma sigma 1 sigma 2 less than or equal to sigma y by n the whole square. So the values are substituted, we get the DC value 18.14. Then maximum discharge energy theory, sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square minus sigma 1 sigma 2 should be less than or equal to sigma y by n the whole square. We get the value DC equal to 18.65 mm. So we take the maximum value is 19.55 mm. Then for metric thread, nominal diameter equal to DC by 0.84. So we get 23.27 mm. From the design data book, the standard design is M24 bolt is selected for the problem. So this is about from the 5 theories of failure. We have calculated the diameter, we have selected the maximum diameter, and we have applied formula nominal diameter equal to DC by 0.84. Okay, that is equal to 23.27. Then this should be rounded off to the metric thread. Metric thread M24 is a standard size which is taken from the PSC design data book, page number 5.49. Okay, thank you.